So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, I will make a video about the Filipino values and moral development and their strengths and weaknesses of a Filipino character. So as we go along with my vlog, so we will know the different values, the strengths and the weaknesses of a Filipino character. But before that, let's go to our intro. So welcome back again to my video or to my vlog. So without further ado, so let's start this vlog. So first things off is the title, Filipino values and moral development, and under of that is the strengths and weaknesses of the Filipino character. So let's go to our first strength, which is the Filipino character number 1, pakikipagkapwa-tao. Pakikipagkapwa-tao, open a fellow human to others and being feel one with dignity and respect, deal with them as fellow human beings. Pakikipagkapwa-tao is a basic sense of justice and fairness, concern for others' ability to empathize with others. Filipino are good in pakikipagkapwa-tao because we know how to feel others, we know how to conform, and we know how we are very respectful when it comes to our elders, and when someone needs help, we know how to help because we feel as one, and Filipinos are very compassionate about pakikipagkapwa-tao in a sense that it gives a harmonious community. So let's go to our second strand, which is family orientation. Filipinos possess a genuine and a deep love for family, personal identity, emotional and material support, and one's main commitment and responsibility, honor and respect given to parents and elders. So we Filipino, we really value family because family is the one who molds us, our character and attitude. So we really appreciate and of course value good strong family ties, and because we all have this extended family because Filipino are very family centered, that we have this very harmonious family because we love to support each other, and of course loving each other because this is the value of a good Filipino character. So let's go to our third strand of a Filipino character, which is joy and humor. Filipinos have a cheerful and a fun-loving approach to life and its ups and downs. Pleasant disposition, a sense of humor, and a propensity for happiness that contribute not only to the Filipino charm but also indomitability of a Filipino spirit. So Filipino has a very good and strong fighting spirit. Whatever problem comes to their life, even there's a calamities, a disease, or even a pandemic that hits our country, we never forget to put smile in our faces and always say that kaya pa, because Filipinos never lose hope, and this have and they have this motto that never surrender and always keep fighting in life. So Filipino is very cheerful, having a good sense of humor, and of course a very good comedian in some aspect of their lives. So the fourth strand of a Filipino character, which is flexibility, adaptability, and creativity. We all know that we Filipinos can adjust and to adapt whatever happens, even in unplanned or anticipated circumstances and the surrounding environment, both physical and social. So as we all know, whatever happens in a life of Filipino in a daily basis, we all know how to adjust when there's a thing that we did not anticipate or we did not think to happen. So Filipinos are good in being flexible, being flexible and going to adapt a certain situation. Of course, we are creative. We know how to make some plans, some strategies, and of course, we make sure that every work we made is very well furnished and very beautiful output that we contribute. So this strength is very important because this makes a Filipino more reliable to others because like to other country, they chose Filipino because they know Filipino can do anything because Filipino are very talented and of course hardworking. So the fifth strength of a Filipino character is hard work and industry. Who says Pinoys are lazy? We have the capacity for hard work given proper condition to raise one's standard of living and to possess the essential of a decent life for one's Filipino. So we are willing to take the risk with jobs abroad, and while there's to work two, three jobs, the result is productivity, entrepreneurship for some, and survive despite poverty. As what I've said a while ago, so we all know that Filipino is very hardworking, very talented, and very flexible, and we all know Filipino are very hardworking when it comes to different industry, to agriculture, to fishing, and to even into economy like BPOs. We all know Filipinos are very good in that. So Filipinos, most of employers chose Filipino because they know Filipino is also caring. Filipino are caring, very talented, and of course, they don't need a lot of supervision because they have the initiative to do their own work until they've done it. So Filipino is good in this because we will also have to give highlights to our farmers when it comes to agriculture industry because they strive hard just to put foods in our table so that they are very important and Filipinos have good character in this. So the next strength of a Filipino character, number six, is faith and religiosity. So our innate religiosity enables us to comprehend genuinely and accept reality in the context of God's will and plan. Religious expression is very tangible, expressed every day, relate to God, like human being, threaten, think, ask, and forgiveness, a peace. So, as we all know, Filipinos are the Philippines is also a center of Christianity, and of course, we have this attitude that we are God fearing, and we have these values that we really value God, as God guide us to our daily life. So we have this guidance and protection, and of course, Filipino we celebrate different feast of like we celebrate the crucifixion of God, and of course the Christmas especially. So we Filipinos are known for being religious. We Filipino are known for being devoted. So we have this. We always go to church to pray, and of course, not only in church but in house, we really spread the Filipino culture that we are very religious, and because we are the Christianity was brought here by the Spaniards. So it was, but before that, we already believe in God because we all know that God is very will do everything, will help us to take this life to the fullest. So the seventh strain of a Filipino character is faith and religiosity. So our faith daring was manifested at EDSA at other time in history even with it. So at this time, during the EDSA People Power Revolution happened a long time ago, the faith of a Filipino was much tested at this time because as we all know that about the government, the chaos in the government, we all know that it will not always be about guns, always fighting, but Filipino do it in a very peaceful way. We have this peaceful rally protest, going to the streets about being united as one, as a Filipino, as a Christian, as a religious centered. So we have this kind of. So the last trend of a Filipino character is to ability to survive. As we all know, Filipino have an ability to survive. Filipinos make do with what is available in the environment, basic optimism, flexibility and adaptability, hard work, and deep faith in God, of course. So as I've said a while ago that even there's calamities, bad situation happens to a life of a Filipino, we Filipino are very positive. We're very optimistic in life. We find ways how to move on, And of course, we always um, pray to Lord that everything will be well and everything will goes on. And of course, life is very beautiful. So we don't have to stop over there. So this Filipinos mentality that we know how to find another resources, what is available, and we are very resourceful when it comes to different aspect because we Filipinos never lost hope because we have this mentality that laban lang because this is very important for us as we strive in our daily life. Whatever happens might be difficult, but Filipino will always find a solution for that because they never surrender. They keep on fighting, of course. So after tackling the strengths of a Filipino characters, let's move on to the weaknesses in the Filipino character. So first come with weaknesses of Filipino character, which is extreme personalism. We tend to give personal interpretations to action, take things personally. So the sincere question may be viewed as a challenge to one's competence, or a positive feedback may be interpreted as sign of special affection. So at this point, so we have this, of course, this extreme personalism that we take it personal, even if it is just in work, we are just been said this kind that you are not good in this and you have to take good of this. And of course, we misinterpret these things, and it makes us Filipino having a mistake in communication. So there's an unhealthy communication happen, but as we go along the way, we can learn and of course improve what we are mistaken of and so on. So the second also is like a continuation. So extreme personalism. Filipinos have difficulty dealing with all forms of personal stimuli. We tend to be uncomfortable with bureaucracy, with the rules, and regulation with standard procedures, all of which tend to be impersonal when tend to ignore them or ask for exception. So we Filipino, we always asking excuses, having some exceptions. We Filipino always like we if there is a rule, we some people do not follow because we always find the easiest way, which is not good. We always tend to jump to into conclusion where we like tend to violate rules because we all know that is not a great mistake, but it's always a confusion in a Filipino mindset that we always have this difficulty in dealing with the authority instead of following. We always tend to find some excuses and whatever that we keep denying on everything that is not very much important. So the third weakness is of a Filipino character, which is extreme family centeredness. Excessive concern for family manifests itself in the use of one's office and power as means of promoting the interests of the family, factionalism, patronage, and political dynasties, and the protection of erring family members. So sad to say, we have this politician that they have this mentality that doing their personal needs, coming up with their personal interests, and abusing its power. So it happens that they always use the resources of the office of or the government they are have possession in, and they tend to use the resources for personal purposes, for personal needs, instead of it is given and of course and distributed the welfare to the Filipino. Instead, they do it with themselves. Also, they came up with using the resources to their own personal interests and going up with their family, using the power or the service as their main resource or income. So the next weaknesses of a Filipino character is which is lack of discipline. So the Filipino lack of discipline is manifest in a casual, relaxed attitude toward time and space would manifest in itself lack of precision and compulsiveness. So we all know that Filipinos are not good in following rules. We tend to violate rules and make a simpler one, which is bad. But for example, in the street, so even if still are in a stoplight, if it is a red light, so we tend to cross the street and do not wait for the green to go because we need like hurrying, or instead we don't care and we're just neglecting the rules in the streets, and which is not good because it will put us in danger or will put in your life into a risky situation. So following rules is very important, and the Filipino lacks discipline in terms into following rules. So the fifth weakness of a Filipino character, which is passivity and lack of initiative. So Filipinos are generally passive and lacking in initiative. There is a strong reliance on others, like in leaders and government, to do things for us related to our need for a strong authority. Filipinos tends to be complacent, and there's a rarely is a sense of urgency about any problem. So in this situation, Filipino always looking up to the government instead of doing it in their own. So they always keep um basically it is right to ask for help into the government, but not all the time. If we can do it in our own way, so why not do it in our own creative way instead of always ranting to government in social media, asking for that there's a failed in service, but instead where we are not blaming ourselves instead of the government, why we do it and work in our own because we have this ability to, of course, produce whatever things that we need to do, and of course that we can contribute to, because in this thing we always keep on lacking some personal instinct that might be very important but unnecessary. But we Filipinos are very passive. We just tend to of course, like, oh, the government will do that, this one and this one, so why we do it? So we have to be careful with this weakness, because and we have to develop some good personal values that will help to value and of course eliminate this kind of weakness. So the sixth weaknesses of a Filipino character, which is colonial mentality. Filipinos have a colonial mentality which is made up two dimensions. Is the first is lack of patriotism or an active awareness, appreciation and love of the Philippine. The second is an actual preference for things foreign. So we have this colonial mentality that we all tend to um, go first with other culture, like in trend, like in the fashion trend. We always keep on, like in the Korean, Filipino also um keep on copying or imitating their outfit, but it's not bad. But the things here is that we forget the Filipino, what we are very unique clothing are the outfit that Filipinos supposed to wear at this moment, because other teens especially find it's corny and very not outdated fashion. But it is very important that we always come first with our own native. We have to be patriotic and love our being nationalism, and put the nationalistic attitude. Not in always going with others, but instead of loving the Filipino made, the Filipino product first, because we always tend to have this thing that oh, this country has a very beautiful like brand of clothing like Louis Vuitton, or like the Chanel or whatever is that. So that is very like lacking in lacking of strength in a Filipino character. So we must develop this one, or improve this weakness and turn into good. So let's go to our seventh weaknesses of Filipino character, which is kanya-kanya syndrome. So from the title itself, kanya-kanya. So Filipinos have a selfish, self-serving attitude that generates a feeling of envy and competitiveness towards others, particularly one's peers who seems to have gained some status or prestige. Yes, we have this very selfish attitude, and of course, being competitive. That we when we see our neighbor having good in life, they are improving in life. With other Filipino get jealous and trying to figure it out what happened, and they will some people will make some issue that, oh, they reach that level because of doing this thing, this bad thing. We always keep on making some issue that instead of like appreciating them that they strive hard, why we always keep on making some criticism that is very nonsense. And of course, kanya-kanya syndrome, that there's some Filipino that they always put themselves first, and instead of like helping others, they always go first with their personal interest. They do not think of the good of others because they want to achieve their things with themselves only, and they do not have to share because like this selfish attitude is not good. So we must make these weaknesses eliminated in this aspect, and we need to develop this into a good one. So the last weaknesses of a Filipino character, which is lack of self-analysis and self-reflection. There's a tendency in the Filipino to be superficial and even somewhat flightly in the fact of serious problems, both personal and social. There's a lack of analysis or reflection. We joke about the most serious matters, and this prevents looking deeply into problem. Yes, this is lack of self-analysis. We don't have good proper critical thinking, and we tend to make some jokes in the serious moments, as what stated in the PowerPoint. So we tend to make this as like Filipinos in this aspect. We do not think it deeply. We just make it merely shallow. So Filipinos are not very bad in this. So not all, but we can see some. But lack of, and of course, self-reflection. We cannot see ourselves what is happening because we always watching for like a one portion of, or like we do not think out of the box. So this very we need to work on as a Filipino. So that's all for my video. I hope you learned something. You learned some important lessons and what we need to work on. And I hope you learn a lot. See you to my next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and click the ring button to be updated for my upcoming new video. So thank you for watching. God bless.